Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is your old buddy John, and this is another episode of Fiend Zone Videos Behind the Counter. Hope everybody's doing well. Guess what? Today's my birthday, and what better present than I get to chit chat with Jason Voorhees. Um, he is one of many actors to have taken on this role, and the person I am referring to is Mr. James Stokes. I mean, this man is he's a busy fella. He's an EMT. He's worked rodeos, disc jockey. He's been in Stranger Things. What's the other movie? I got it written down here. Stranger Things, Snap, Mark of a Killer. I mean, the list just goes on and on. He doesn't sit still. So without any further ado, I will bring in Mr. Stokes. Hey James, how you doing out in
Don, how you doing, sir?
No, not too bad. Not too bad. So you're a busy fella, man.
I stay pretty busy, yes, sir. There's no time. There's no grass is going to grow under my feet. That's for sure.
No, pro rodeo, EMT, actor.
Yeah, I've got a list. Well, when you're 50 years old, you've done a lot of stuff in your lifetime, so that's what it is. But as far as being an actor, I can't say that my life is not at the best place it has ever been. To be honest, I'm having the best time of my life. It's living out a dream, pretty much, is what it is. Yeah.
Well, it was a passion that you kind of rediscovered back in 2015, correct? I mean, you kind of
It
went
is.
away.
Yeah, I started out in high school. I would do musical theater and stuff like that. I sang in the choir. Did a lot of that. Played football, of course, basketball and baseball. So I mean, I didn't stop in high school either, and then went on to college and played. And then a friend of mine was doing some short films in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and needed some extras. And I thought, this would be a perfect time to go back and do some stuff. And it was a Western type of movie, and went back and did that and met, and just connections. I met one guy, his name was Danny, and met him, and he had a movie for me, and he wanted me to be the bad guy in that role. And that was Soldier's Joy that I did. It's on my IMDb as well. And it just kind of went downhill from there. He introduced me to his agent, which was Misty Pyburn, and which became my agent, still is today. And so we kind of just connected, and she started putting me in for things. And then commercials led to some TV shows. TV shows led to some movies. And now it's just, like I said, it's then got to where I'm a full-time actor now. So, I can say that. So.
Yeah, because I was noticing here too. You've even done some international work too, and
I have with Lionsgate. Yep, with Lionsgate, I went over to Romania and I shot a movie called Adrenaline. It's already done. It's in post production. It should be out this year. That was interesting. That was fun. It was. It just goes along with the whole acting thing, as far as getting to travel the world and see the world and go to different places and become somebody that you're not. And that's what an actor is. You're someone that you're not. And that's what I love about acting. You get to portray, you pretty much get to dress up and get paid for it. So, and have fun. So that's what I love to do. And I take it very serious. So yeah, this is what I want to do for my career.
Well, see, a lot of people, I think, have this misconception. They go, oh, it's just actors and it should be easy. And they don't understand that the amount of research and study it takes to get into a character. I mean, you were literally leaving James Stokes at the door and becoming somebody else. And that's not an easy thing.
When I first got asked to play, and I keep coming back to Jason Voorhees. When I got asked by Jason Pitts to come on to be Jason Voorhees, it was like a dream come true. I mean, you grow up watching all the Jason movies and all that stuff as a horror fan. And when he asked me to do that, that's exactly what I did. I went back and I watched pretty much 6 through 10, Kane Hodder. I watched the way that he moved. I watched the movie in a totally different light. I didn't watch it as a consumer. I watched it as an actor learning how to be that character. And so because Jason Voorhees, you don't just put a mask on and just go around. I mean, there's a gait to his walk. There's the way that Jason moves his head when he hears something. And Kane Hodder was one of the best. I mean, as far as playing Jason Voorhees, that's the reason he did it so many times. And I kind of went off of what he did to become this character. And then, researching the character and stuff like that. What's the origin, where he came from, and how he came to be, and all that stuff that you don't really think about when you're watching a movie. You just want to see, you just want to get the thrill of the movie. Well, if you're becoming that character, well, you need to know about that character. You need to know what makes him work, what makes him tick. Why is he killing all these people? Why is he doing this? So it's really a fun job to do it, and it's a lot of pressure on you too, especially taking on a role as Jason Voorhees, where people will watch you and they will say, "You're not doing it right," and it's like, I want to be, when you watch me on screen, when this comes out, I want you to not be able to tell if it's Kane Hodder or James Stokes, or any of the other Jason Voorhees, because they all did it amazing. So I want to be one of those guys that did it amazing.
Yeah, I mean, my two favorite as far as that's played that character was C.J. Graham in Part 6.
Absolutely, CJ is amazing.
And then with Kane Hodder, the differences in the two, the thing about CJ gave it almost like it was a child mentality. He was curious a lot of times. You would see him the way like when he pulled the paintball guy's arm off and he just looked at it with that curiosity of like, damn, I didn't know I was this strong kind of
I
look.
didn't know I could do that. Yeah, exactly.
And with Kane, it just exuded just straight rage. It was rage without speaking a word or anything. It was, you could clearly tell he was just pissed off and he just wanted to go through anybody and everybody to I guess reach his goal, whatever that is. And we don't, as the viewer, we really don't know what that is.
Absolutely. Yep. Hi, Mandy. You came in. Nobody said anything to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mandy. Yeah, I ran a little bit late. My stepdad kind of stopped me. He's sitting in there watching. He's British, so he's watching some soccer, his football, and he's sitting there yelling and screaming. And he's like rooting for his team. His team's doing really well right now, so he had to stop me and explain all of it. And for some reason, I'm not trying to sound mean. It's just when the British person's explaining things to you, they just take a really long time to say it, and it just yeah. So I'm sorry, everybody. I had to hear about the team that was winning. It would have been that simple, but it wasn't. Sorry.
It's got to break it down for us, It's just,
you have to add some fancy words to it too.
To me, his football is just you put a ball on the ground, you kick it, and try to get it into a net.
I've been watching the Olympics all week, and he died laughing because a girl, one of the girls competing, her name was Fanny Smith, and in British, Fanny means something inappropriate, so he couldn't stop laughing, and he just couldn't stop telling me. And then when she lost, he thought that he was even funnier, that Fanny didn't win any medals, she wasn't any good. So he had to make sure he said it like that.
She finished at the bottom. Work, work, work.
Yep.
So when you get
sorry for that. I went into a long explanation also. It's really great to meet you, James. I looked over all your work and everything, and very impressive. And
you.
Especially being Vorhees, that I would put that as like an accomplishment, being able to play that character.
Yeah, I thank Jason Pitts every day for allowing me to bring this character to life for Vorhees Night of the Beast. I think you're going to really like it. It's got some interesting kills in it. It's got some interesting, just the whole movie in itself. It's got some different homages to different horror films in it that I hope people catch. And if you're a true horror fan, there's no doubt you're going to catch them. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
I like the concept of it because we find out Jason ain't the only monster in the woods.
Well, that's another thing. That's the night of the beast, and that's what kind of stands us out a little bit. It's Jason has fought Freddy, and Jason has fought different people, but Jason has never fought Bigfoot. So now, and
Yeah,
the
that's
guy that we got to play Bigfoot, I brought him on board because he's a pro wrestler for one, but he is. Well, you just can't match his size a whole lot of times. He's almost 7 foot tall and got dreadlocks, and he's a towering man. And it worked out with both of us together because, him being about 6'8", 6'9", me being 6'2", it looked pretty menacing with us on the camera. So I think you're going to like it.
So between the two of you, who spends the most time in the makeup chair, you or him?
Well, you know what? I'm going to say him because his outfit took a little bit more time than what mine did. Mine was made to my face and stuff, and I'd love to show you the mask.
Yeah, sure.
Love to show everybody.
awesome.
Shala, the FX artist that made this, is absolutely amazing. She's wonderful. One of the best FX artists out there, I believe. And this mask was made for the movie. This is it's just amazing. Jason had this made and stuff like that. But here's the, I'm just going to put it on for you. So.
Oh, the classic old Kane Hodder scary face.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, hold on. Buckle come off. That's one thing I like about this. It's got buckles and all that stuff. It's amazing. So you can't tell me that don't look menacing.
No, and it's
so, yeah.
Damn near. I mean, it is basically the Kane Hodder look from Part 7.
Exactly. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
I like the detail too of where she actually put the machete slash in the skull, because I have seen some fan films where they just left that out for whatever reason. I don't know if it's they didn't know how to do it or whatever they were trying to do, but it's those little details like that, man, that matter.
Yeah. And the suit was made. She took all of my measurements and everything, and she made the suit to me so it fit like a glove. Matter of fact, it was very, very tight. Put it that way. I got a little bit bigger before I got to set, and it was really, really tight on me. So it moved with me everywhere I went. So it looked real. And once they started spraying it down, the latex and all that stuff, it's going to look amazing on film.
So the tightness of it, was that because you got the exposed rib cages and bones like they had?
Yeah, the exposed ribs, the back, the spine. My legs were, parts of it was exposed and stuff. The pants and stuff I had on was cut to where you could see the exposed ribs and all that stuff, or the legs, and then the shirt was exposed to where you can see it looks pretty good.
The whole thing right now, the main franchise of Friday the 13th is kind of caught up in all this legality and all this court drama.
Mm-hmm.
You playing this role, man, it could open a door for you, because if they can get this whole legal thing cleared up and they go and look at this fan film, they could be like, hey, James is out there. He's younger. Because Kane Hodder, I mean, nothing against him, but he's getting up there in age. I don't know.
Well, I think Kane has actually said that he was done, but I'm not sure about that. I haven't actually talked to Kane about that. But you know what? If it does, I'm going to embrace it, and I'll bring it justice that it needs to be brought. If it gets out there and I do have an opportunity to be able to play this in the actual Friday the 13th series, that would definitely be a dream come true. And we'll see. I don't know. I got some other things coming up that are going to keep me pretty busy. I got some other projects that I'll be working on. Another horror film in Vegas called Campfire. It's on my IMDb. I can go ahead and talk about it. You can look up the cast and stuff like that. I'll be in it.
Yeah, I've been
Uh,
following that the film actually on Instagram because
yes.
John Haig is in it as well. He's
Yeah.
part of the
hmm
cast. So yeah,
The
that's when
cast,
I
is,
first
the
heard of
cast
it.
is looking really good. So yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen that. It's like I'm actually very excited for that when I saw the trailer and everything. And
Mhm.
so far, it's amazing, an amazing
An-
cast.
Another one I just got through finishing filming was Reunion from Hell 2, which had the cast of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 and 5 in it, and Part 4 and 5. It had Mark Patton, it had Lisa Wilcox, and Danny Hassel all in it. It's Reunion from Hell, written by Hayden, I forgot his uh, last name now. Just lost everything that I was thinking about. Uh, Newman. Yeah, I said it right. Hayden Newman. I don't know why that didn't sound right, but Hayden Newman wrote it and directed it and stuff. And so that was so much fun getting to be up there for 7 8 days with that cast and crew, working with Mark and Lisa and Danny was just amazing. And all the whole cast of that film was just awesome. So, we just finished and wrapped it. So it's in post production as well.
How about Stranger Things? Are you going to go back and maybe do something with them? Because I know
No,
they just.
no, Stranger Things is on its last season. It'll be out this year, season 4, and it'll be wrapped up after that. So no, season 3 was the only one that I was in for that. But that was, I had a very, very small part in that. But when I got asked to be in that and to be featured, with Millie Bobby Brown and the whole cast. I was with them for like a long time that night and stuff that week, but it was amazing, and it did a lot for my career, and even with just a small role that I had in it. And it's just being on a production like that makes you see things totally different. That's a SAG production, and it's just run differently than a non-union production, for the most part. There's a lot now. Non-unions have started to where they're trying to work like a SAG film, but it's still not the same. It's just not the same. It just they got the budget to do what Stranger Things do. A non-union film is never going to have that kind of budget. You're not going to have $30 million to just run around and do and get army men and get tanks and get jeeps, and you're just not going to do it. So being on a set like that is just unbelievable.
Yeah, because how was that? I mean, it had to have been like stepping back in time for us that grew up in the 80s. I mean, it
Oh,
clearly.
absolutely. I mean, yeah, it was like absolutely. It was, I had to shave everything off, and all that. But yeah, it was like stepping back in my childhood days, in the 80s and stuff. And it was like, wow, it's just amazing that they can make a film that looks like you're back in the 80s, and just with a haircut and the way you talk and the cars that you see driving down the road. That's all it takes sometimes to make it go back in time.
And give you that nostalgic feeling. Yeah, I love
Absolutely.
Stranger Things. Me and
hmm
my girls were huge fans. It's like we have shirts, all the clothing and stuff like that. But then I have the banner from the first season where because it was the wallpaper with the Christmas lights and everything. Oh,
hmm
I think that muted. Um, but it we just have a lot of little knickknacks here and there because my girls they really went crazy when that stuff came out. But it's like if they heard that I talked to somebody that was on Stranger Things, they're gonna be like, oh my god, because they get a little starstruck like that. They love that
Sure.
show.
Yeah, and I love it too. And I always tell people, that because people love that show. I mean, literally,
Yes, they love it.
they love it. They love it, and it really has helped me as far as being an actor. Even though it's just a small part, it just because I surround myself with people that know a whole lot more than I do in everything that I do. So I keep my mouth shut and I learn and I listen, and I take that and I put it in my own life. And I found that that's the best way to do things sometimes, just keeping your mouth shut and just listening to people and learning from them. So, yeah, it's been a good experience.
Yeah, all them kids on there. Oh my God,
They're
they are so
absolutely amazing.
talented.
So talented, absolutely amazing. Yep.
Oh
But
shoot,
they're
I
going on
accidentally
to
hit
bigger
that.
and
I'm
better
sorry.
things. hmm Yeah, they're going on to bigger and better things. So, that show it run its course. The kids are getting older, and it's set in back in the 80s where, you just can't keep it running forever. So,
Yeah, I mean, Finn has probably had the most work out of all of them as far as like Ghostbusters. I mean, playing Egon Spangler's grandson.
yeah, well, Millie Bobby Brown probably. I mean, she's done a lot since
Yeah,
this.
Godzilla.
She is absolutely an amazing actress. I mean, she is just amazing, and that's what it takes. It's just learning from the best, pretty much.
My favorite kid on that show is Gaten Matarazzo, however you
Oh
say his
yeah,
name. I love that kid. I mean, he's just so full of energy and happiness all the time.
the whole crew, the whole cast was absolutely amazing. I mean, they were troopers. I mean, that couple of nights we was out there, it was raining, it was cold, and we had to make it look like it was in June, in hot weather and all that stuff. So we're there in short sleeve shirts. We had to take blankets off each other when right before you get ready to film, and people don't understand. We're filming all night long. It's just that's hard. It's hard. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, you earn a paycheck when you're on set.
That's
I
right.
mean,
Yeah, because you gotta at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't care how tired you are. You still gotta look like it's 9 o'clock at night. I mean, you can't let it hurt you or make you look tired or anything. You gotta look just like you did before.
yeah, I mean, you got to suck it up, especially when it's cold and you're trying to pretend that it's summer.
Woo!
You as actors have to suck it up and not shiver and give off.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the night of the Vorhees Night of the Beast. We had some overnight shoots, and by 5:30, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, it got really, really cold. I mean, you could see your breath, and it takes a toll on the cameraman and everything else trying to get the shot the way it needs to be shot without seeing breath and all that stuff all the time. Sometimes it looked pretty cool though, so it's just really dependent on. But it was cold several nights in that suit, so because you ain't got a whole lot more on. I mean, that you just don't. I
no,
couldn't wear any clothes. I couldn't wear any clothes underneath that suit. I mean, that suit was like fitted to my body. I mean, so that's what I had on. I mean, it's supposed to be my body, so that's what it was, and it was tight.
Latex normally don't hold heat too well.
No, it does not at all.
It'll absorb the cold big time.
Yes, sir.
What was another one I was thinking of? Oh yeah, with like the camera lenses, you talk about how it's heck on the cameramen. People don't realize cold weather is hell on camera lenses too. They'll start
absolutely. Yeah, those guys are constantly battling, the cold weather and condensation and stuff on their cameras and stuff like that. Constantly battling that stuff. It's hard. Yeah.
So how did you come to meet Jason, which Jason Pitts will be our guest tomorrow?
Yes. So, Jason and I had worked on a couple of things in Birmingham, Alabama and Atlanta and stuff together. And he was the DP on a couple other films that I was working on where I played a preacher and played a couple other parts. And then Jason had a couple other things going on. But one night I remember it like it was yesterday. We was in Arkansas and we was working on another film. And we all went out to dinner. And we was sitting there, and I was sitting on one side of the table, he was sitting on the other, and surrounded by a whole bunch of other people. And he got to talking about how he was writing this fan film of about Jason Voorhees, and he didn't know what he was going to call it, but he was going to play Jason Voorhees. And I told him right there and there, I said, "Hey, you ever want me to play Jason Voorhees? That's something that I would love to do," and all that stuff. And I left it at that. Nothing else was said. Well, several months went by actually, and but we was working on another film in Birmingham, and we was sitting out at dinner again, and he said, "I've already started on the script. This is how much I got done of it. This is what I'm going to do." And I said, "Man, that sounds awesome." He goes, "I'd really like you to play Jason." And I said, "What?" And he said, "Yep, I want you to play Jason." And from that moment on, I mean, it was just full-fledged watching Friday 13th and doing everything I could. And when we went down to Arkansas to shoot a little teaser trailer, and he had the bodysuit wasn't done, but the mask and stuff was, and this mask and all that stuff, and fitted to me and all that stuff, and we just got some kinks out of it, and we did a little teaser trailer. Which, did you ever see the teaser trailer?
No, I didn't even know he had it up yet.
Oh wow! Oh, the teaser trailer was up a long time ago. I will let him. You need to play that tomorrow.
Okay.
And that way, and well, now have you seen the trailer for this?
Yeah.
You've seen that trailer.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there was a teaser trailer out for this before we even had the suit and everything made. So I'll tell Jason to play that for you or send that to you so you can see it. And this is like one of the very first concepts of me playing Jason. And I'd like for you to see that, how it looks.
Okay.
And but yeah, we did that, and then, but that's how it came to be. We had worked together in the past on a couple of things, and I love Jason Pitts is absolutely amazing. We have a film family pretty much with me and Jason and several other actors and people. And but Jason is, I can't say enough about him. I mean, he is an amazing screenwriter. He is an amazing director. He's so easy to work with. He's got a brilliant mind when it comes to horror and to writing this stuff, which just blows my mind as an actor, to be able to read a script like, well, from anybody, I don't care who, because I'm not a writer. So to be able to read a script and bring that character to life that this man had thought up in his head, that's what makes me want to be an actor every day. I like to be directed. I like to, and they'll tell you, make the character your own. Always. You always got to make the character your own. But at the same time, there's a fine line to bring a character to the way you see it, to the way the writer sees it. I want to be able to walk that thin line to, yes, because I made this. This is my character. I made Jason Voorhees, James Stokes, or James Stokes, Jason Voorhees. So, but at the same time, I wanted to make sure that I pleased Jason Pitts, because this was his idea. It was his thing. And when you get done with a scene and you see a director go, yes, that's what I wanted. Perfect. That right there makes it all for me. That makes, I don't care if I'm getting a paycheck. That's what makes it worth my while right there, is to see that director be that happy with me in portraying this character.
Yeah, because as an artist, it's not all about money. It's about, even if you like me and Mandy, we like to draw, or if you're a writer, or if you're an actor, when somebody looks at your stuff and goes, that's it, masterpiece, there's no better feeling in the world than that.
And that's the reason I want directors. That's the reason I think directors like working with me. And I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I listen. I'm directable. I'm teachable when it comes to that. If a director, I was doing another film in Vegas called Macabre. I did it perfect. He said, that was perfect. But can you do this right here? And I did it differently every time for him. And he loved it. And the director loved it. And that's what makes it all worthwhile. And that's the reason directors want to work with actors, that I'm not going to come on set and just say, I'm going to do it this way. This is the way I see this character. This is the way I'm going to do it. If you don't like it, you can get somebody. I'm not going to do that. I feel like those writers, those screenwriters, and everybody else that works on this film, if they have a vision, I think an actor ought to not only portray it as themselves, or make the character their own, but let the director see that it's going in the vision that he wants, or the way that he. And that's the way I work. That's just the way I do things as an actor.
Now, when you're in character, are you an actor that only wants to really interact with the director when you're in character, and you want to be left alone by everybody else? Or
that's a great question. There has been roles that I've had that I don't want to be messed with by anybody while I'm in character, because the lines are very important. there was a series. I played in a doorman, and yes, it's as of right now, it's just a short film. But I played a serial killer. I take those roles very serious. I was in there with Lynn Lowry, me and her. She played my mom in this one, and that woman is amazing too. Lynn Lowry, if you know her work, I mean, she is just phenomenal, and I love her to death. But that role, I had 4 pages of dialogue that I had to learn. And I'm talking about, this is for one scene. This is one scene, 4 pages of dialogue. I'm walking through the woods looking for my victim. I'm telling her why I'm doing this, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's a lot of dialogue. And I did it on one take, and I did not miss one word because I stayed in that character the entire time and never come out of it. If people would have been asking me about other movies, or they'd have been asking me about anything else, it probably would have thrown me off. They left me alone. I did my thing, carrying an axe, throwing it around, doing all that stuff, and I did it perfect. That's one. But there's Jason, though. You could talk to me. I knew, I didn't have any lines to say in Jason. That's all action. But when it come down to film time, yes, I wanted to be left alone. I wanted to be off by myself. I wanted to be exactly where I needed to be, when I needed to be there. And that way, when film time came, I knew exactly what I was doing. So yeah, that's a great question. It's some roles are like that. Some roles are not.
Well, I only asked that question because I read Kane Hodder's autobiography, and he was talking about how when he was on set and was Jason, he just wanted to be left alone because he wanted
Absolutely.
to keep channeling the anger and the aggression. And
Yeah.
the crew said that they would get around him, and he would literally just kind of do that whole Jason head movement towards them, and they literally would almost crap their pants over it because
Oh yeah. No, there was times I could look at you with this mask on and you knew, just don't even bother me. If you said something to me and I didn't speak back, leave me alone. I mean, that's just the way it is. Just I'm where I need to be right now. Don't bother me. And I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. It's just, but if you want to make this character the best it can be, then that's what it takes sometimes. Because when you get into the head of a killer and you're not a killer, that's hard to do. And
yeah,
it's hard to do. And so, I mean, but there's such a fine line on that too. You're not the killer. You're not going to really do this. You don't want to really hurt anybody. But sometimes, it's just like during playing Jason, I grabbed some people pretty hard and didn't. It's because you get out of your own mind and you get into the character, and it's like you feel like that's what that character would do. And I've got some people pretty hard. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. So it's it's you gotta stay in your own mind too.
how about you, Mandy? Got any questions?
No, I was wondering like what project that you're working on, because I've seen that you have a lot of them coming up and everything, a lot of films that you have in your
Yes, I'm working. I have some commercials that I'm getting ready to go shoot, which is just normal stuff. But as far as film wise goes, I've got Campfire coming up. I think we're going to try to shoot it in May, and that's in Vegas. I'll be out in Vegas for a while, and then I've got another movie that I'm working on. It's kind of a superhero military MMA fighting movie. Can't say a whole lot about it yet, but that's in the works right now, doing that. And then I just signed an LOI with a Western that I'll be doing out in LA. Can't say a whole lot about that one either. I just signed the LOI on it to be able to be in that movie. But I've got several things working right now that over the next few months I will be. I got a steampunk movie that I just got to roll in. That's going to be shooting up around Chicago with me, and it's got Bishop Stevens in it. I love him. He's a great guy, great actor, WWE wrestler. I mean, he's done a lot too. Great guy. be one guy that you would like to talk to as well at some point. But he's a good guy. But I'm going to be in a steampunk movie, which is something that I've never done before. I've never played in a steampunk movie, so I like period pieces, westerns, 1800s westerns, stuff like anything to do with a horse. I mean, I'm an equestrian anyway. I've ridden horses all my life. I did ride the International Pro Rodeo Association for a long time, and so I've done a lot. But anything to do with a horse, I absolutely love it. So,
is there any particular project that you're looking like more forward to than the rest?
No. And the reason I say that is because I take every one of my movies very seriously, and I want to portray whatever role that I have in each movie that I'm doing, whether it be a Western or a genre like steampunk or anything. I'm sorry, my phone's about to die here, so I'm gonna have to plug it up. There we go. So none of them really that Did I lose you?
Nope, you're there.
No.
Oh, there we go. So none of them that I'm looking forward to every one of them. To be honest with you, I love getting new scripts and reading the new scripts and all that stuff. That's something that I just enjoy to do. I get on a Sunday morning, get my coffee, and get a script in front of me, and I just absolutely love it. And that's what I love about acting. It's always something new. You're always going to be somewhere different, and you're always going to play a different character. And so, I just absolutely love it.
Hey, Michelle, thank you. Just another year older. Don't get excited for birthdays much
I was
anymore.
just about to say, it's like you didn't seem too excited that she actually announced that it's your birthday. Like,
I don't get excited for birthdays.
You don't?
How come, John?
No.
How old are you, John?
46. I'm not scared to say my age.
46.
And I'm still young and pretty.
That's right. I got 4 years on you, big guy. So come on now.
Yeah,
We're
I just this
a
week.
little red, birthdays.
I just this week got back into weight training again to try to bulk myself back up because
That's what I do every day.
Well, I dug up a picture. I used to be in the military. I was in the Army and retired. And I dug this picture up and I was sitting there looking at it going, what happened to this guy? He was like super in shape and all this stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, I retired and got lazy. So I went out and bought a weight bench and some weights, and my whole body just hurts right now, but it's been worth it.
I have found that working out at home doesn't work for me. I get too distracted. There's too much. Every time I look up, there's something else to do. So I have to have a gym to go to, and it just seems to do a lot better for me. Which I'm 50, so I have to stay in the gym almost every day. So to stay in decent shape and stuff, but. Yeah, it's a work ethic, that's for sure.
Well, over here with the whole COVID restrictions, everything, it sucks going to the gym because I have asthma. I kind of outgrew it, but I still get attacks every once in a while. And wearing a mask, trying to lift weights, it just makes it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard to do. Yeah.
That's why I went and bought the weight bench. And yeah, I do find myself sometimes getting distracted, but I just cut everything off and put my earbuds in, turn on some music, and just focus on that for at least an hour, 2 hours, however long, and just go on. Plus, too, my kids are grown, so I don't have them constantly distracting me.
Sure.
And I live alone, so well, I can't say I live alone. I have a cat, and she thinks she's a person. So I guess she counts.
You said that like she's watching this right now, and that
she is.
She's a lot of crap later. Like, what do you mean you live alone?
No, she literally lays in here while I interview people and just stares at me like a director. Like, you're not doing that right. Roll it back. Let's do that again. I mean, she's got a personality. With the Western thing, I'm a big Western fan. I love the old spaghetti Westerns and with Van Cleef. What was his name? It played in all the Clint Eastwood ones from back in the day. I think he also played Sartana, or however you say that name. Do you think westerns could make a comeback?
They're already. I think they already are. There's no doubt. Yes, and that's the reason I love westerns. Um, you know, westerns was. I mean, back in the day, back when I was growing up, that's what you always saw was westerns. And I mean, my dad would sit there and watch, the Rifleman and Gunsmoke and just all of those just westerns and stuff. And then I've had a chance to go out to Northern California and see some of the places where these things have been shot, and got to ride horses and do some stunt work, on horses because of these westerns. I absolutely love the genre. 1883, Yellowstone. I'm telling you, with those kind of projects, they're bringing western back so much. I mean, if you look at my Instagram, I mean, I'm a cowboy at heart. I mean, I wear my cowboy hat almost every day. I mean, it's just I'm out here with the horses, every day, and it's great, and it's just. But yes, the westerns are coming back. There's not a doubt in my mind. And thanks to Taylor, Sheridan, for bringing that back, because with Yellowstone in 1883, like I said, with Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, and it's just. That is absolutely amazing. And yes, I would love to be on 1883. It would, or Yellowstone, either one. That would be a dream come true, as well as being equestrian and stuff, and being able to play the cowboy role and stuff like that. Which, thankful, I have already signed on with a couple of westerns, and so that's going to help me out hopefully in the future.
Yeah, because that was when we were kids, and even before I came along, because you're 4 years older than me, that was like the original superhero movies.
Absolutely.
Was Western movies. That
Absolutely.
but so many people get this thing where it's like, oh, you're talking about John Wayne, and it's like, yes, John Wayne is a big part of the Western genre, but if that's all you're focusing on, you are just missing out on so much. I mean,
yep.
There was so many great ones, and especially the international ones, especially, like I said, the spaghetti westerns. I just love those. And one director I keep hoping, it's like, if you're going to remake anything, if you want to do the Dollars trilogy, Robert Rodriguez, I think, would be a perfect director to do that.
Yeah. It'd be awesome.
And then again, maybe you could even get, because Clint Eastwood, yeah, he's like in his 90s and he's still going strong. Man.
Still going strong. Yep. I love Clint. I love everything that he does. I mean, it's just amazing. He is an amazing director. He's an amazing writer. That's just what Clint Eastwood is. Yep.
And his son, God knows, he looks just like his daddy from the 60s.
Scott? Yeah. Yeah, he does look like him.
Have you ever had a chance to run into him before? Or?
Have not yet. No, I've got a connection to Scott. We're actually friends on Facebook, but I haven't actually met him. No.
Everybody says he's like a super, just down the earth, salt of the earth guy.
Yeah, nice guy. Yeah, just like Clint. Clint's the same way. Clint's a nice guy. Mm-hmm.
So with this campfire movie, I noticed you got Grandpa Munster in it.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got the cast alone with Nick Benson and Mick Strawn. They're two of the best FX people in the business, to be honest with you, in my opinion, along with Larry Bones and a couple others, but in Shala, the one that made my mask and all that stuff. But they're the FX people in Hollywood and in movie business alone don't get enough credit for what they've done. Nick and Mick, they did the Howling, with the werewolf and Tremors and Nightmare on Elm Street. And I mean, the list of stuff that they've done is just absolutely amazing. And getting to work with people like this, it's a dream come true for me. You talk to these guys and they want you in their movies and all that stuff. And it's just like, you can't believe, it's like, I can't believe I'm talking to this guy, Larry Bones called me last night. He's from LA. He's one of the top FX guys there. It's amazing to talk to these guys and see how down to earth they are, and just kind of pick their brains on how do you make this stuff? Because it's just, it takes a special kind of person to be able to dream up and concoct all this horror stuff, and it looks so good, and it looks so real, and it's just, to me, that is absolutely amazing.
I will throw this out there for anybody that doesn't really follow Nick Benson. There is this kind of cult film called Society, and it's about these people that are like upper society, upper class, and they're all really weird, and they can like body morph, and it's a body horror film. If you want to see Nick Benson's work, I mean his A game, that's the movie to watch. That is so disturbing.
So you know Nick then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
a
you know what I'm
nerd.
talking about.
I'm a nerd for special effects work.
Well, yeah.
And him
So,
working on the Howling, I mean, he got to work with Rob Bottin, whatever, I think.
yeah.
Bottin. He did the Howling, Piranha, all those other movies. So he had a good teacher.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. And getting to work on these horror films like that, to where, you know, I get to wear these masks and stuff created by these geniuses, is what I call them. I mean, they're just absolutely amazing. It's just, that's another reason that I like to bring these characters to life. It's like, these guys are putting everything they have into stuff like this right here. You can't just go and buy this. I mean, you just can't do it. And it's just like, when they make something like this, you want to bring it justice. You want to do what that character would do. And it's just, that's what I love about it.
I had a friendly argument one day with somebody on social media, and they were talking.
A friendly argument.
Yeah. Civil dispute, I guess you could call it, but they were complaining about, yeah, and they were complaining about, because indie horror films rely so much on contributions, right? I mean, you guys, when you contribute to these films, you're helping people like James and all them bring this to life. So one of the films that I'm a producer on, they were complaining about the price on one of the screen used masks, and they were like, well, it's just a latex mask. I said, yeah, it is. But what you don't understand is that actor had to sit in that chair for hours on end in a plaster cast. I said, and then number two, the artist had to mold this mask, all the details, everything. I said, this is not your Walmart mask or your trick or treat mask or any of this other crap. So there's a lot of time, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Absolutely.
So to pay $800
from
for
down
it,
to the scars, the teeth on this side, coming out. I mean, just the way it looks the detail in this is just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's just and that, you can't get that done in an hour. You just can't do it. You just can't do it at all. So I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how long you had to sit in the chair, but I've heard people sitting with that plaster headpiece on for like 3 or 4 hours.
That would suck. No, I did not have to sit there for like that. I couldn't do that, I don't think, but that'd be rough. But yeah, but I love the whole character. I love the whole horror genre. I love acting. That's the bottom line is, I love acting.
Well, here's a good question for you. So what would you say was your most difficult role thus far? I guess is what she was meaning.
Most difficult role this far. That is a really good question. Thinking back to what I've done, the Soldier's Joy role, yeah, it was an independent film, but I had to play a 1800s landowner, which was a plantation owner, which was a slave owner. And that's hard to portray a slave owner in this day and time. It was very hard. It was really hard, because the actors that played my slaves were absolutely amazing actors, and they knew me personally. They knew that was not me at all. but the what I had to do to them and what I had to say to them, that's really hard. It's really hard to do. And in Leonardo DiCaprio, that the Western that he did with
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, saying the N word that many times and just doing that's not easy. That's not easy to do for an actor. And but as an actor, you have to portray the part. And so other actors know this. That's the reason that it happens, because you are just acting. It's not who you are. But that would be one of my hardest roles was portraying a plantation owner when it's not my beliefs, and doesn't matter what my beliefs are, but that's not my beliefs, and I would never do that to a human being ever. But in that role, I had to portray that. So that was really hard to do something like Jason Voorhees. To say it's hard, I wouldn't say it's hard. I would say it's time consuming, because I want to make this character. I want to bring out what this character actually is. He's a menace. He is a. I mean, I don't even know the words to it. It's not hard though. It's not like you're having to say something that's going to hurt someone's feelings or hurt someone to the core. You're just going up and just hacking away, because that's what Jason does. Jason don't talk to you. Jason just kills you. That's what Jason does. So, so that as far as playing that role wasn't hard per se. The hard part about playing Jason Voorhees was making sure that I did it justice. I did it to where when you look at me, you don't know if it's me or Kane Hodder or any of the other CJ. You don't know if it's any of the other Jason Voorhees. And that's the way I want to portray that. I don't want to get out there and just walk the normal gait. You need to walk like Jason Voorhees. And there is a certain gait that he has. And so, yeah.
That physicality too. I mean, you got
absolutely. Yeah. So playing the serial killer, that was kind of hard. To get into the mind of an actual serial killer that just has no remorse for anything that he does. He's out for one thing and one thing only. That's hard to get into character like that. That's one that you have to be left alone and just don't be bothered with, and just let me do my thing until you hear cut, and then you can get back into your regular thing. But yeah, that's a good question. That's a hard question to answer.
I forget the movie name. It just came out, and I completely apologize. But Ethan Hawke just played in a movie where he plays as a child killer. That has to be hard to get into that.
Yeah. Well, Criminal Minds, the actors off of Criminal Minds, there's been actors to quit that show because it's literally messed with their minds. Doing those real stories like that stuff that really happened, they're just putting a little twist on it for TV, but those things really happen. And some actors, they can't separate the two, and it starts to mess with them. And yeah, you can't let it bother you like that.
Yeah, they said that's what happened with Heath Ledger with the Joker. They just said he just got down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's right. Heath Ledger, playing the Joker. Joaquin Phoenix, same way. Playing that character. That's psychological all the way through. It's not that he was he was a murderer, but it's all psychological. If you saw how his life was growing up and what he had to deal with, it's just, that'll mess with you. I don't think that movie should have been called Joker. And this is my opinion. It was amazing. Don't get me wrong. But he didn't become the Joker until the very end. That should have been called something else because he wasn't the actual Joker until the very, very last scene of that movie. And when he got up on top of the cars and doing all that. But that was amazing. It was just, I think it was amazing. A lot of people didn't like it. That's their own opinion. In my opinion, I loved it. I absolutely loved the movie with Joaquin Phoenix. I think he's an amazing actor, and he did a great job.
Him and De Niro. If you don't like that movie, fine. You got, you're entitled to your opinion, but him and De Niro, when they were on screen together, that was magic. And then when you had the payoff where he just pulls the gun out and blows his head off right there, I was like, I mean, it's bad, and I'm not applauding the fact that somebody just got murdered, but
No, but it's psychological. It's all in his head. It was just he's a warped individual. I mean, it's just that's what you call it.
have you ever come across a role where you had to really debate if you would do it or not? I guess that would also come with the slave
Um,
owner thing.
yeah, I have not per se come across a role where I had to debate whether or not I wanted to do it. Normally, when roles come across from my manager or from my agents and stuff, we already know if I would do that in the first place. Um, I haven't been on set yet to where a director has asked me to do something that I feel uncomfortable doing yet. Not to say that that won't happen, but as of right now, I haven't been on a set where I felt uncomfortable doing a role. Um, so that's another great question. But no, I haven't experienced that where I've had a role come across where I just like, do I do it or do I not do it? You know, there's people out there that when they saw that I was doing Jason Voorhees, I mean, literally told me. I mean, I've had messages on Facebook and Instagram. You're going to hell for doing that, and it's like it's a character. It has nothing to do with the belief. It has nothing to do with me trying. If you don't like something, change the channel. If you don't like something, don't watch it. If you don't like something, don't do it. But don't put down other people because they want to do something. That's not right. That's not your decision. It's not your choice. It's not it's not fair for you to judge someone just because you don't like something. A lot of things go on in this world that people don't like. And a lot of people have a lot of opinions about it. Sometimes opinions are better left alone and left unsaid because in in today's world, people get their feelings hurt really bad
Yep.
over the smallest things. And the genre of horror, yeah, a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people only want to watch Christian movies. I will do a Christian movie as fast as I'll do a horror movie. I'm an actor. That's what I do. That's what I love to do. But don't judge me because I want to play a mass killer. It has nothing to do with my beliefs or how I am as a person. Get to know that person before you judge them or before you say anything to them because you might like that person and you might understand that that person is not what he's portraying on TV or what he's portraying in a movie. That's what I hate about this world, that everybody wants to be so quick to judge other people and they don't know what they do. They haven't walked in their shoes. So don't do that to people. And that's just the way I feel.
And I see it a lot in the horror community, and yeah, I'm guilty of it sometimes, like with this new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I put a post out last night. I'm scared to watch it, but it's not that I hate the actors or the people that made the film. That is not at all the case. The case for me is I'm scared that it's going to fall short of my expectations, and I hope that's my favorite horror movie of all time is the original 1974. Not because it's perfect or any of that. It's because of everything that cast and crew had to go through to make that film happen. It
I
should
know.
it should
I,
have never been made with the amount of roadblocks they had.
I
So
John Dugan is one of my best friends. He lives in Nashville here. I talk to him all the time. Me and him have sat at dinner and talked extensively about what it took to make that movie, to what he went through to make that movie. And yes, you're right. But people want to look at them and judge them because they made and yes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was, people couldn't watch it. Some people walked out of the theaters. It was rough. It was a rough movie based on true events. That's what makes it even worse. But it just goes back to the thing where people want to judge everybody before they know. It's apples and oranges, man. One
Yeah.
person might like apples, one person might like oranges. If you like apples, you don't like oranges, don't go and put down the oranges because you don't like them. It's just there's no reason to do that. Get to know the people before you start to judge people. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say I'm not jealous that you're friends with John Dugan, but I'm kind of jealous. I would
I
love to
love
just
John.
sit, I would
I
love to
love
just sit and just talk to him about it, because people don't realize John Dugan, who played Grandpa Sawyer in that movie, he was a 19-year-old kid in this horrid special effects makeup. I mean, let's be real. This weren't top-notch stuff we're talking about. In, what was it, like 100 and something degree weather?
Oh, yeah, that was in Texas. Yeah, that was in Texas. I mean, it was terrible. And he told me about how the shot, they was going for like 6 weeks, and then they ran out of money. Then they had to raise enough money to get to even get back to filming. Then it took them another 2 or 3 weeks to finish it. The movie was made on a very, 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 very low budget, and it is a cult classic now. And it's just, I don't know. It's to me, that's the kind of stuff that makes it worthwhile to me. I mean,
Another little trivia question for everybody out there. The house where they filmed the movie at, they kind of stumbled upon somebody's weed farm. So a lot of the actors were partaking of the marijuana while they were filming the movie. So
wow,
I guess Toby Hooper and Kim Hinkle had to put down this ultimatum, like no getting stoned while we're shooting scenes, because I guess
that
Gunnar Hansen got like really really messed up and they couldn't get him to do Leatherface correctly or whatever it
that's
was.
amazing. I haven't heard that, so I don't know. I mean, but John is a great friend of mine, and we talk all the time, and I'm sure he'll be texting me here before long if he's watching this. But yeah, it's I love John. Yeah, there's Leatherface right there. Yeah,
That's the pride and joy of my collection.
that's awesome.
James, is there any roles that you're like aspiring to like try to be? Like, are you like looking for a certain character that you've always wanted to play besides like stepping into like the Friday the 13th role with Jason Voorhees?
Superhero. That's one that I'm looking into wanting to be a superhero movie. I've done a military kind of role. I've done cops a lot. I mean, I look like a cop, so they put me in a cop role a lot. But superhero, and I still the Western genre. I've been in a couple, but I want to be full-fledged, Western feature film. That's kind of what I want. Stagecoach and all the stuff. That's something that I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, one day doing.
Do you have like a superhero in mind that you would always like be like, yeah, I want to be him if you're given that chance?
No, really, I don't. I no, I thought about that too. Everybody wants to be like the Hulk or something like that. And or Captain America, of course. I've always wanted to, as a kid, you want to be Captain America and stuff like that, $600 million man and stuff like that, or whatever. But no, it doesn't matter what the superhero is. I want it's. I may have my chance to do that before long. I don't know. I'm not going to say a whole lot, but there's a good chance that I might have my shot at doing that. But yeah, I don't really have a specific superhero in mind.
Well, when I
Who only
look
played
at
Spider-Man?
well, if I may, when I look at you, I see Slade Wilson,
Oh,
Deathstroke.
you know what? That's not the first time that's been brought up. Yep,
Yep.
that is not the first time that's been brought up. So, yep.
But he just mentioned a $6 million man. How amazing would that be? Sorry, I
Yeah.
just got completely sidetracked with that. That like took over everything. Now, James
That would be
Stokes,
amazing if they could bring that movie back and bring that TV show back and put me in that role. I mean, I'm the age, so that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be amazing. It's like, who wouldn't
Yeah.
want to be him? I want to be him.
Yeah,
That's not
exactly.
what
So that would be cool. But there is another movie that's I'm going to direct, I think, and be a part of. It's called Ichabod Crane. We're going to remake the this
I
is
saw that on your IMDb.
IMDb. Yep, and I'm going to be playing the Headless Horseman. So
Awesome.
yep. So as of right now, that's still in the works, but that's going to be a dream come true. Getting to ride a horse and not have a head and do all that. And the suit that's going to be made for me is amazing. So it's going to be cool.
Is that
Sir?
Is that going to come out around Halloween? You going to?
Probably not this year. It looks like we probably won't be shooting it until around Halloween. So yeah, it'll probably be next Halloween. Hopefully that comes out. Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do any kind of campaign for it, like an Indiegogo?
We are going to do a campaign for it. Yes, I'm. Matter of fact, I've been talking to the writer and getting things set up for the campaign and stuff like that.
Well, you can count me in.
Oh, okay, thank you. But it's called Ichabod. It's called Ichabod Crane, so it's going to be pretty cool. So, and I'm going to maybe my directing debut on that one as far as a director.
I love that story. I mean, I don't know because I'm not from that New York area. I base a lot of what I've seen from it basically off of the Disney animated short that they did. But they say that was like the closest anything has ever came to, I guess, what Washington Irving did when he originally wrote that story.
Yeah.
And is that just a work that Washington Irving thought up in his head completely, or was that based off of just urban legends at that time?
That was an urban legend, I believe, that was brought to life by him. Yes. Mm-hmm.
See, I never knew that. I didn't. I just thought maybe that was just a work that he just completely thought up in his own head.
Yeah, that was an urban legend that he had sat there and wrote the story on and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was based on a real urban legend.
Yeah, because that town actually existed, didn't it? Sleepy
It
Hollow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Pennsylvania, maybe.
It was in upstate New York, I think.
It might have been New York. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I knew I was up there somewhere. Uh-huh.
But it's like, how amazing is that to be Jason Voorhees, and then you get to be the Headless Horseman? It's like, it's freaking amazing.
A couple other things I got going to with Nick and stuff that I can't say right now, but there's might be some another adventurous creature coming to life sometime.
Cool. Yeah. It's like, look, he's all like smiley about it. Like, it's going to be good. You're going to love it. Look at that face.
Love it.
Are you going to play Bron Bones too in that film?
No.
I could see you as Bron Bones.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's great. It's been great talking to y'all.
Yep, certainly has, man. This made my birthday.
Well, good. I appreciate that, man. Happy birthday to you.
I've been telling everybody, I was like, I get to talk to Jason Voorhees today.
I'm glad we got to come on and talk. It's just great. Hopefully we can do it again. I'll come on anytime you want me to, man.
Yeah, brother. The door's always open to you, man. Always open to you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. James Stokes, Jason Voorhees, a man of many talents. I mean, yeah, just go on IMDb, you'll be blown away. A lot of actors out there would really like to have that body of work.
Well, thank you so much. I've been really working hard to build my career as an actor, and it's a hard business. It is, but if you put your mind to something and you put the hard work in, and have the passion to do it, then it'll work for you. And then I'm one to show that too, because I literally have put everything that I have into my acting, and it's finally paying off for me in several different ways. And I don't forget who helps me and who pushes me along, because you can't do it alone. You got to have a team. You got to have a support system behind you, because if you don't, this is a very, very hard business, and you got to have a very, very tough skin. Yeah. And
yes,
I appreciate people like you that love talking to us as actors and getting us out there, because that's what it's all about, is getting us out there and people to know your name. I just signed on with a personal appearance agent. A lot of people don't know this. I'm with Cinema Utopia now. So I'll be at some cons signing autographs for Jason Voorhees and stuff like that. So please, I'll be posting all of that on my Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, to where people can come to certain cons and see me and finally get to meet me and stuff like that. I have a pretty good fan base going that love my work and that love, watching me and stuff. And I love that. And trust me, I would talk to every one of them personally if I could. And I would love to, and this will be a good way to meet my fans, is come to these cons and see me. So that's just another way to get myself out there and to meet my fans and stuff like that. And I love it. And I really do appreciate guys like you and Mandy. I love stuff like this because it's just another avenue to get us out there. And y'all really love the genre of horror and stuff like that. And I love that, man. I love it. It's just great. I appreciate y'all both.
Yeah, I really, James, I really think you're going to go far, my friend, because when I see you have something that a lot of people don't have, is the fact that you are appreciative and you're humble about it. And that's very rare in this world anymore.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I vowed that if I do make it, that's where I'm always going to be, 100%. I appreciate people that appreciate me.
Yeah, because I think it's a big deal to me because I'm just a little podcast, Me and Mandy, we're just this little thing out here that's trying to be a big thing.
You're no smaller than anybody else, buddy. And I tell you what, I don't care how big I get. I will come on your show anytime you want me to. Anytime.
I certainly appreciate that, brother. Certainly appreciate that. And
I wish I had effects to put up with a big heart and some romance going on here.
No, it's just
getting a little bit thick in here. I might have to exit the screen. Sorry. Give you two some alone time.
Okay. No, I appreciate it though. Seriously, y'all. I appreciate your time and giving me the opportunity to come on and answer the questions. A lot of people, have told me they was going to be listening in today, so hope they do. And I don't know. It's just I'm trying to build my fan base and trying to make this work. So.
Well, this will also be an audio podcast too, because I'm gonna rip the audio from this, and that'll be on Spotify, iTunes, all that. So I'm gonna put it all out there, just any avenues I can find.
The guy you got on tomorrow, Jason Pitts. I'm telling you right now, I love the guy. Love him with all my heart. Wonderful, wonderful man. Very, very talented individual.
And he's the one that pitched me.
Yes, and he's the one that cast me as Jason Voorhees, and I can't say enough about him. I mean, really do love that guy.
Morgan Wilburn said, "Good luck, James."
Thank you, Morgan. Appreciate that, buddy.
Morgan's a film director too. I think he's doing Helvira's House of Horrors. I think. Correct me, Morgan.
Well, tell Morgan to get a hold of me. so yeah.
Well, I'm working on a short film script myself, and I might need a werewolf. So
I need a Cookie Monster. I'm going to throw it in every single episode of an 80s style slasher film with Cookie Monster as the villain. So
she had this dream of Cookie Monster killing people, and now she wants to make a Cookie Monster, which I want her to make it, but I'm so scared to death that Sesame Street's going to get a little upset about that.
Because I sat there and thought about it. It's like you can make a knockoff, a generic puppet, but then I'm like, but that will lose its appeal because it's it has to be Cookie Monster killing people. It really does.
Helvira's Haunted
Asylum. You're not getting that
right. I know. It will never happen. But it would be an amazing movie. Nobody can deny that.
That's awesome.
That's my dream.
I've been talking with some special effects people about doing a little short film because I want to submit something because I just started this Fiendish Fantasy Productions and I finally got my LLC through and got my insurance and all that. And I said, well, we got short film festivals coming up in about the next year. And if I can't do it next year, maybe 2 years, but I've always wanted to do a werewolf film. I'm a huge werewolf nerd. My gateway into horror was Lon Chaney Jr.'s Wolfman. That was it. That was the door, for me. And I've always wanted to do something in the vein of that, the Howling.
Yeah, I'm a big werewolf guy too. So, got to play the werewolf on Potter's Ground. It's out on DVD right now. I'm the actual werewolf in that. That's the only thing I did when that I got a stunt credit for that because I was stuntman as a werewolf. But I love the werewolf genre as well, Wolfman and all that stuff. So the Howling, of course. I mean, I grew up on the Howlings. I mean, and now I'm getting to meet Nick and Mick and all them that's worked on that kind of show. It's just a dream come true. I mean, it's just awesome. So, but yeah, keep me in mind. I mean, seriously. I mean, not SAG yet.
Well, I'll share the story with you when I get it written and let you just read it
Sure.
over.
Absolutely. Appreciate that.
It's got to be like 15 minutes in length, I think, is what their maximum is for it. So I want to use all 15 minutes as possible.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah, sounds good.
All right, Bubba.
I know a bunch of special effects people. So
yeah, I've met a few too. Me and Mandy, we know the Gogs, the goddesses of gore, Jamie Apple and them.
Nice. Okay. Well, John, Mandy, it's been a pleasure. Really, it has. Thank you for throwing me out there. Seriously.
Not a problem, man.
Absolutely,
And when
James. Looking forward to all of your future projects.
You get that Ichabod.
You're doing great things.
Thank you, Mandy.
Get that Ichabod Crane thing going. Just let us know and we'll have you back on.
I sure will. Absolutely. That might be a good way to pitch that out there to it. We've got some things that we're doing with that. So I'll let you know about that and see when we can get back on for it.
All right, buddy. Well,
all right.
It's been a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure.
Means the world to me. I got to talk to Jason Voorhees today. So, guys, Mr. James Stokes, you can find him on Facebook.
Instagram, actor James Stokes. Yep, Instagram. I've got a link tree out there to all my stuff, so that would be great. So appreciate people supporting me, really do. It means a lot. Well, it means everything. In this world and in this business, if you don't have supporters and fans and people that want to watch your stuff, you'll never make it. So I appreciate all the support that I get every day from people sending me stuff and letters. And I mean, literally, I get stuff at my door all the time with my face on it from Jason Voorhees or Bigfoot or whatever. And I absolutely love it. And it doesn't go unnoticed. I'll tell every one of them right here and now. It doesn't go unnoticed. And I love every bit of it.
Well, brother, we really appreciate you. And
thank you so much.
You take care of yourself out there in Nashville.
Absolutely. All right. I got to go feed my horses now. So we'll talk to you later.
Tell Elvis I said hello.
Tell Elvis. Thank you very much. All right. Y'all have a good day.
You too.
Thank you, James.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, I accidentally exited you out of the stream because he was quick on the draw. He really is a cowboy. So how's your week been, Mandy?
Oh my God, I don't even want to go over it. We'll just leave it where we'll leave it in the past where it is now.
Oh, no problem, Morgan. I'm sorry I messed up the name. I think I got it half right.
Did you?
I think I did. I did say Elvira's Haunted House of Horrors, which I should have been Asylum.
I thought I only heard Hellvirus. But don't listen to me. I'm practically deaf. So, I mean, you could have said the whole thing correctly and I would have probably not noticed.
Well, I've got some kind of big news, I guess, to put out because I finally got this finalized yesterday where I can actually talk about it. But Frank Farrell, who played in Street Trash, is going to be on the show on February 27th. So those of you that might not know what Street Trash is, Street Trash was 1988, very B movie, very almost like trauma type movie in the vein of a Toxic Avenger, very campy, gory. But Frank Farrell played in that. He was also in Spooky. So very well known within the B movie community. And we get to talk to him. And I've got to rewatch Street Trash so I don't look like a complete idiot when we do talk to him. I have not seen that movie in about, I would say, 20 years. It's been that long.
Yeah, I was about to say the same. It's like I'm gonna have to like refresh on that one. It's been a while, but that's pretty cool.
I do remember the homeless guy that was sitting on the toilet in the alley melting. That's about the only thing I remember from that movie.
You're like, that's all I remember.
And the guy stealing stuff from the grocery store. That's like the only two scenes that I can recall. So, and then he was like, "Well, have you ever seen Spookies?" And I was like, no, I haven't. Damn, I feel like such an ass." But I'll correct that. I'll go and watch all of his stuff. And I made up my mind. I am, after we're done with this, I'm going to go watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm not going to be one of these toxic fanboys. So,
yeah, you're pretty much sounding like one there. It's like, just watch the movie. It's like, don't be so judgmental. People put hard work into it.
it was never that I was hating on what the work that people put into it. It was, I
The
don't want it to,
vision.
yes,
Their
because
vision
that
wasn't your vision.
the Halloween kills just kind of took it out of me. It really did. And I don't know. Maybe I hold stuff in too high regard and I can be guilty of it. I'm not perfect.
That's
But
when you write your own and then you make your own and direct your own.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre means a lot to me. You know, it was the first movie that truly scared the hell out of me as a kid, other than Salem's Lot. But
I mean, yeah, it's like I have my favorites and everything like that. It's like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you know, Halloween, 1978, and then Halloween 3. Obviously, that's my favorite horror film of all time. That I'll always say that. But it's like, you get your, the first Nightmare on Elm Street and everything. It's like you have your favorites and everything like that, and then it's like, I guess people just get really attached to these films and they just want everything to stay the same all the time. But it's just, you also have to accept that people just want to try different things and try their visions out and stuff like that. So I never get too picky or crazy about a film unless it's just there's just something really really bad with it. But
the,
for the most part, I'll watch anything, and usually with the horror films, I never get really too disappointed because I just always expect them to be different because everybody's always trying to put their vision out there and their spin on it. So it's like, okay, let's see what you were thinking when you made this film. So that's how I look at it.
I guess with me, with Texas Chainsaw Massacre as a kid, it was always just driven into my skull that this was real, this took place, this was all a true story. And for the longest time as a kid, I was like, I will never go to Texas because I'm scared I'm going to get hacked to
But how are they
pieces.
supposed to keep making sequels to something that was already solved and taken care of,
But you're
back
telling
then?
this to a 6-year-old boy, and I'm sitting there going, I'm never going to Texas because I don't want to
Yeah,
get
it's like
killed by
after that first
blacklegs,
one,
man.
Hollywood took over. So it's like there's nothing you can really do about that. That's when it just became like a actual, you know, a whole big franchise thing. It's like, okay, he's going to be, this is one of our big monsters now, like Dracula, you know, Wolfman, the Mummy, the Invisible Man. Now you got Leatherface.
But the Pandora's box that that movie opened, I mean, it made me learn about Ed Gein and different serial killers,
Yeah.
and because of what it was based off of. Um, Now,
Well,
as
the
far
rest,
as new stuff that's out now, I just binge watched the Chucky series.
I need to watch it. My oldest daughter watched it and she was telling me how good it was. She really liked it. Did you like it?
Yes,
It's
I
like, yeah,
was.
she really liked it. She's like, Mommy, you really need to watch it. But my only issue is because of everything that's happened, I haven't. It's like I'll be able to sit and maybe watch a movie with them here and there. Like last night, we watched *Malignant*, and that's been out for like a long time. And I finally just got to sit down and watch it. But it's really difficult to find time and everything now. But yeah, she's like kept telling me, it's like you really need to watch it. It's really good, the Chucky series. And it's like
Those
I know.
kids, those kids I can't say enough. I know, like our friend Luke. Um, I'm almost this close to getting him to actually come on with us, Mandy. I'm getting close. But Luke doesn't like horror movies that have
I had to
children in
make a
it.
face. Sorry.
Fine, I get it. You don't like having kids in your horror movies. But those kids in Chucky were they're just so good. They are, as far as like, their experience beyond their years. I mean, it's amazing to me how good these kids are that are coming up acting now, from the Stranger Things kids to the ones in Chucky. It's like, Jesus Christ, they just come out the wound as Academy Award winners. I mean, it's like, I don't get it. Um, I'm very, I was happy, but very surprised Sci-Fi just let Don Mancini just, like, here, take the reins and go with it, because with the language used, the gore, and the way people were killed in it, I was very surprised that USA Network and Sci-Fi allowed him to do that. And I applaud them for it, because if he'd have watered it down, it would have never worked.
Yeah, exactly. That's the issue with a lot of the shows actually. Like when they start to try to when you like when there's a story for something and you know that it's gonna need almost like an R rating basically, and then they try to make it for TV, and that's the worst thing. It's like when you hear like an author trying to get their book, like turned into a movie and everything, or even if they're trying to get it put on HBO or something, and then you find out that okay, it's going to be on regular like primetime TV, and it's like not even like a cable one. Like they'll just put it on NBC or something late at night, and then you realize how watered down it's going to be, how much context it's going to be taking away from it, and then you're like, then when you watch it and it fails after the first 3 episodes, like the network decides to pull it, it's like, well, what did you expect? It's
The only problem I had with the entire show was the final episode, the payoff. And I'm not going to spoil it, because Mandy
I was
has.
about to say spoilers.
I'm not going to spoil it for you, because I want you to watch it. But
I needed my
and,
TARDIS right now, like to
and
jump in it because you're about to give out spoilers. I'm like, where's the
no, no,
doctor?
no, no, no. I'm not going to do it. But you know, you might like the final episode. I was kind of like, eh. It was a little. It wasn't bad. It was just not the way I thought everything was going to happen, and sometimes that's good. Uh, I just thought it got a little too top heavy at the end, with everything they were just trying to pack into that final episode. And I get that maybe they were doing that because they didn't know if they were going to get picked up for a second season. So I understand.
Probably a lot of them try to finalize it and stuff like that because to me it feels like a trend where seasons get just cut and everything. Like after the first one, they're like, no, don't want to do it anymore. Even though it's like they have a huge following and everything like that, and they have the numbers met. It's like I don't know. It's like some of these networks are just super freaking picky.
Yeah, like Swamp Thing, still a little shitty about that.
What is it? The Santa Clarita diet. Clarita diet. I can't even talk anymore. My throat just got all funky. You know what, Drew Barrymore?
Yeah,
I was like, I was really upset that they canceled that one because I actually was watching it with Emmy because Emmy loved it. So then when she found out that they canceled it and wouldn't have it come back, I'm like, oh, well, they left that one unfinished. I was like, what's wrong with Netflix?
well, a lot of it is these comic book companies, because no, that one's not a comic book, but there was iZombie, which I think iZombie got a little bit of a run. Like with Swamp
Yeah, they
Thing.
ended that one quick too, though. I was upset about that one. We watched that one too because the girls maybe there's like certain series that we'd watch together. It's like Stranger Things, iZombie. I watched the one I just spoke of with Emmy. Just little things like that. And when they cancel them, you're like, no.
Well, when you go to watch Chucky, go get the Sci-Fi app, put it on your tablet or your phone. You can watch it for free. You just got to stomach the ads, and they can
I
get a little
can't watch it on my
annoying.
phone. I just tried to get a new phone, and it just I got the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and everything just went to what? See, that exactly. It didn't get their ending at all. It's like Netflix just cut it. And I'm like, it's like they didn't give an ending at all.
Pitch it to him, Morgan. You're a director. Pitch it to him. Tell him what you would do. Hey, I'll throw some money at it.
Because obviously, like, the
It,
husband like turns into a zombie afterwards. It's like we didn't get. I
it
need
was a great
closure.
it was a great concept.
It was a great concept. I thought it was doing well. I don't understand. It's like there's some shows that were actually doing well, and they just pull them.
The thing I hated about the whole swamp thing, because I'm such a big fanboy for that comic book, is they get to the Floridian man at the end, and that's it. And then they go, "Oh well, guess what? Kiss our ass. We're not bringing you a season 2." So it's like, so you're going to do this major supervillain reveal in the final episode, and we're never going to get a payoff. Couldn't you have re-edited this some way to where it didn't leave us hanging? Nah, man, nobody's a nobody. You are somebody. You make films. You don't sell yourself short, man. Every director had to come from somewhere. Believe me. Look at George Lucas, for example. He was a nobody. Now he's a billionaire. And nobody wanted to nobody wanted to give him money for Star Wars until we went to 20th Century Fox. And then now what? He got, what was it, like $4 billion he got paid to sell it to old Mickey Mouse. Woo, you come at me with $4 billion, you can have this podcast and you can have this whole damn apartment and everything in it for $4 billion. I'm out. Me, Mandy, and Luke are just chunking deuces and we're riding out. See you in Cabo, motherfuckers.
But yeah, I don't have time to watch anything or do anything like that right now. I'm trying to. It's like I wanted to watch the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I let the girls practically pick out what we were watching last night, and they chose *Malignant*, and I hadn't seen it yet. Have you seen that one? They have it up on HBO.
No, and I've got HBO because I've been watching Peacemaker with John
They
Cena.
put it up when it was out in the theaters. They put it up for a short time. It was like a week, I think, and then they took it down, and then it's back up and everything. So we watched it last night, and it was pretty interesting. It was a very different type of film, and the girls really liked it. They enjoyed it. The one main character's name is Emily, so there's like a huge reveal in it, so I keep teasing her with it, and she's like, leave me alone.
You're a cool mom. You let your kids watch horror movies. I used to have to sneak that shit when I was a kid.
No, my family would just sit around and we'd all get together. They have friends over and stuff like that, so it's like a big deal. It's like we lived in a little tiny town. I think there's like one movie store. So it's like when we finally got a VCR when I was little, it's like that's when it's like watched got to watch Halloween. I think that was like one of the first ones, that or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But I remember when Nightmare on Elm Street came out, that was like the big thing stuck in my head, because when that movie came out and they were actually able to rent it, it's like they had everybody over and everybody was so scared. And I remember getting so annoyed because I'm hopping from seat to seat because I was little. So I'm hopping from seat to seat because anybody I was sitting next to kept trying to cover my eyes. They're like, and they kept saying, don't be scared. And it's like, and I'm not the one scaring. Like, I'm not the one that's scared. It's like they're sitting there screaming their heads off. And it's like, I'm hard of hearing. So I'm like, I go with the screaming and trying to watch this. It's like, it was just horrible. It was horrible it's like, just let me freaking watch the movie. So I'm just, everybody's like, it's okay. Don't be scared. It's like, I'm not the one screaming. Just let me watch it.
We used to have this video store called D&K Video. And then there was another one called Video Zone. I think it was Video Zone, something like that. Movie Zone. And I remember D&K, I could always go and get horror movies. And I swear to God, it was like I was this 10, 11-year-old kid. And I'm going in there and I'm renting these movies. but it's almost like I'm going to see a drug dealer because they're like just giving it to it. Don't tell your mom you got this movie, and it's so I'm like sneaking it home to watch. It's like I'm meeting some dude in the alley to buy damn weed or something, like gut stuff, man. My mom took us to the drive-in to watch horror movies. Yeah, we used to have a drive-in called the Jet Drive-In back home. Sadly, they closed it down. Closed it down when I was like 6 or 7 years old. Now it's a Best Western hotel.
I remember going to the drive-in once with my sister, my oldest sister, when I was younger, and I can't really remember the films. It was two horror films. It was like back to back. I can't remember which ones they were, but then as I got older, it's like there was a drive-in in Tampa, and they had 6 screens there, so it's like, and then there'd be 2 movies playing on each screen, and I remember that's when I saw Dracula 2000. So I was like, so yeah, I guess I've always just watched the horror films at the drive-ins.
If anybody watches this and you're in the military and you get stationed in Fort Stewart near Savannah, Georgia, you go to Jessup, Georgia. It's just this little small town. You blink, you're through it. But there's this old couple there, and they own a drive-in theater. And they basically took 2 old billboards and set them up, put this covering over them, painted them white, and you go there and you get to watch a new release film and then an old classic, and then their whole aesthetic inside the snack bar and everything that you walk into is very 1950s. uh they have a grill, hamburgers, hot dogs, nachos, fried Twinkies, and Oreos, everything that's not healthy for you at all. I love that place, and there's not many days that go by that I don't miss going to that drive-in when I was stationed there. That
I
was
just
like just something that was awesome for me and my kids.
I just pulled up the information for the one I went to go see with my sister because I was kind of remembering one of the films. This one wasn't a horror one. This was just a thriller, and it was called FX, and it was from 1986. It was about an FX artist,
I
and it's
remember
like,
that.
so that I just realized, wow, 1986. I remember that crap. It's like I had to sit there and jog my brain for a little while, but yeah. Let me see. It says a movie special effects man is hired to fake a real life mob killing for a witness protection plan. See, I didn't even realize. I can't even remember. Um, a movie special effects man is hired to fake real life mob killing. So it just keeps saying it over and over again. Okay, but he finds himself in his own life, finds him in his own life in danger. All right, I read that completely wrong. But then like they kept repeating like the first part. It's like, okay, just make me sound completely like illiterate at the moment.
Everybody's
So it's
blowing
a
their phone
thriller.
up.
It's an American action thriller film directed by Robert Mandel and written by Gregory Fleeman.
Hmm. And that's the movie Effects.
Yeah, and it has
I remember when it was on
four and a
Cinemax.
half stars on Rotten Tomatoes. So I need to watch that again because I really don't remember it, and obviously it's a good movie.
Yeah, dog, I could fuck up some red vines. I said one time just eat a shitload of them things. God, I remember one time Gavin, he set up one night playing something on the PlayStation all night, and I went to bed. I woke up the next morning, and we went to Sam's Club and got this 4 pound bag of Twizzlers. Mandy, I get up the next morning, he's sitting there still playing, and next thing I know, I look and the bag is in the floor. I'm like, you ate 4 pounds of Twizzlers? What? Oh, I didn't realize it. I'm like, oh my God, bro. You're either going to have diabetes or I hate to see when you go to the bathroom later. It's just going to be just Twizzlers.
I
Makes
just
mouse
pictured like
happy.
a poop Twizzler, just
Yeah,
you
makes
know,
mouse happy.
big long red. Twizzler covered in poo. So
I didn't want to go that far, but
probably didn't even chew them. Probably just swallowed them whole. But I'm
what?
like stuck on this whole movie now. I'm sorry. I keep reading all the stuff on it. It says, what would happen? This is why I thought it might have been a horror film. It says, what would happen if a horror movie special effects artist was framed for murder? So now it's all kind of like piecing together. It says this one review said it was the best movie you never saw. Okay,
Or
so we got a Vum Ong. I don't know how to say that.
and
I was reading the comments. Sorry.
Man Borgasta.
Bargasta. I'm guessing it's a guy. What is a Bargasta? Is that
Asking.
I am. I'm asking right now. How else am I supposed to ask?
Type it, because obviously
Well,
he might
gonna...
not speak English. Hey man, what's Borgasta mean? What's Vum da Ung mean? No answer. Okay, cool.
Hey man, Bargasta. Now I want to like name a character after that.
That could be the name of your protagonist for Cookie Monster Kills the World.
Bargasta. No, I'm gonna use that now, Bargasta.
I'm
Sorry, I
Agent.
just stole your name. You have no rights to it anymore.
I'm Agent Barcosta, and I've been hunting the Cookie Monster for the past 5 years. Just
I
follow the
own your name
chocolate chip.
now, Bargasta. It's mine. All right.
Well, I got to get off
Happy
here.
birthday, John.
Call family. My dad's like, call me. We have this thing where I have to call and talk to him every birthday. So, no, I don't mind talking to my pop.
You're acting like you just don't want to be reminded that you're another year older.
I don't.
I know. It's like you went out, you got a weight bench and everything. It's like somebody is having issues with getting older. Then you're sitting there looking at your younger pictures and you're like, don't say it, Mandy. I'm going to say it. Should I say it?
God damn it, I want to be a Toys R Us kid forever.
Next thing you know is you're going to have like some type of red convertible driving around. What kind of car do you drive?
Honda Civic.
Honda Civic. Okay. Yeah, you're going to trade that in. You're going to get some type of red flashy sports car now.
No, I totally want a race car bed.
But you're going to...
Super sweet, right? Want my feet hanging off the end of it, too. Totally too big for it.
You're like, I'm not older. You're going to try to find yourself a pretty young lady.
Yeah, she comes over and sees my race car bed. And I got to go.
You're like, I want a race car bed. Oh my God, I was listening to the radio the other day, and this girl was talking about how she went on a date, and the guy took her back to his apartment, and when she went into his room, that he did not have a bed. Instead, he had a pile of clothes, and they weren't clothes that he wore. It was just a pile of clothes on the floor, and he called it his nest, and that's where he slept. And he said that if she couldn't accept that and sleep in it, that they could not be together.
Later. Now, when I first moved into this apartment, yeah, I had an air mattress, and I was dating a girl at the time, but that's not like super weird because I just moved in here on the spur of a moment type deal. So I
probably
slept.
still have that air mattress.
No, I actually have a bed.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I believe you. It's probably a beanbag bed.
Do you want me to pick the whole computer up and just turn it so you can see?
You don't need to see your bed, John. I was teasing you. You're like, don't say that about me. It probably is a race car bed.
Well, at least I got a damn bed. Not sleeping on a pile of underwear.
I'm going to try it.
Just laying down going.
I'm sorry. It's like if he's been sleeping that way for years, it's like it might be comfortable. Having a pile of clothes and I don't know, might be comfortable, John. Just saying.
He lays down in it and just goes.
That's how I'm going to decorate my next house. I'm going to sit there and put piles of clothing everywhere for where people are going to sit. That way I have an excuse not to fold my freaking laundry and put it away anymore. And I just use it as furniture. See, I know how to solve things, I'm a problem solver.
And just like that, Mandy Cantoon solved world hunger.
See, exactly.
With piles of bras.
I am stopping the unnecessary purchase of products that are not going to be biodegradable and will bring harm to our planet, like further harm.
Just turn your old shit into furniture.
No, I'm not going to even use old stuff. I'm going to wash my laundry and I'll throw it down. It's like if somebody with stinky ass sits on it, I'll just wash it again.
What's that big pile of underwear over there? That's the love seat.
The love seat.
And like these bras over here. Oh, that's the Barca Lounger.
These pile of jeans over here. This is the recliner.
Yeah.
Get comfy.
And then the socks down there. That's the footstool.
The recliner, I'll put like a heated pad underneath it, so that way it's
Where's
like
my ass getting hot?
This seat is heated, so you might want that one. That's the luxury treatment right there.
Why is my ass getting hot?
That would be a pile that I would have to wash often, because sitting on a hot seat makes people's ass sweat, and
yeah, you get swass all in it.
Yeah, and I can't trust that people wash themselves. I bet you 10 to 1 there's like a million people out there they'll like take showers and everything and never wash between their cheeks, ever. And all that ass cheese that's like building up and everything. So
Mandy's turning into Luke.
Through the years. What about the belly button cheese too? It's like a lot of people don't wash their belly buttons. This is just a service announcement to make people healthier. Hygiene is a very important thing. Wash your belly buttons every shower and wash your ass crack every shower.
Man, when you take a shower, don't just take the raw bar of soap and run it up the crack of your ass, because other people going to have to use it.
It washes off.
I don't want the raw bar of soap dragged up the crack of your ass.
But that washes off literally with the water and the soap. Like, it disappears because it's just.
But then I'm washing my face with ass soap. Why do I wash?
But the bacteria won't stay on it. It like washes away, literally. Maybe you should try ass soap, on your face.
It's just a thought.
May make you like. I'm just saying.
Did you say
ass cheese?
Yes, she did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I didn't say anything like that. I'm an innocent lady.
Is there a thunderstorm outside? You might want to watch over them lightning bolts. You are in Florida.
Actually, it's about to start raining. It's going to start raining. Seriously. Is there a problem with saying ass cheese? I'm sorry if I offended you.
No, I ain't get offended by ass cheese. I'm
I
just saying.
Said, next time I'll say cheese ass. Cheesy ass. It's the same thing. She
keeps looking like she's waiting for her stepdad to cover. What is this cheese ass you're talking about?
I get to hear all kinds of great things from him. All kinds of great things.
He's going to send you to the store for Cheez-Its.
You'd be like,
talk about cheese ass.
I want some cheese today. He's like, I needed you to go to the store for some bits. He's like, I got all the bits written down on this. He's like, I can't find my book. And he's talking about little notebooks.
I love how you've lived around him so long you could perfectly do an English. He's got that proper English, though. He ain't got that Cockney ghetto English. Yeah. Unless he does that when he gets mad.
I don't know. I can't understand him when he gets mad at all. I'm sorry for my words, but that made me laugh. What?
I'm so offended by words, but that made me laugh. Look at you insulting our fans, offending them.
How am I offending people with ass cheese, though?
Damn it, we're canceled. Oh well. Well,
Or
I guess
ass cheese?
this is the last episode of.
No, I just want to keep saying it. It's like I could say a lot worse. I could. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I'd like to keep this thing going. I don't want to be Joe Rogan.
I'm not going to say things like that. I'm not a bad person. Just have a potty mouth.
Ass cheese,
made me laugh. So, what kind of words offend you? I'm kind of curious.
Well, he probably can't write those if they offend him because they might be like super offending, and he's trying to get a movie funded, and I don't think that's going to go too well for him to write that kind of shit. There are words that offend me too.
What words offend you, John?
I can't say them.
Come on, John.
I don't like anything with racial undertones to them. Anything.
Oh, nobody likes sex. That's not even.
I don't like people to be called a son of a bitch because your mothers are not bitches. I know that sounds very shallow, but it just bothers me because your mom's not a bitch. You can call me whatever. I don't care. You can call me a bitch. Just don't call my mom one.
Oh, so it's like your mom, like your mom
Yeah.
jokes, like when people start saying stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you take it personally.
I mean, I don't like go in a rage and start cussing people, but I just don't like that word because it's insulting somebody's mother.
So see, he replied with something. He said he was joking. My sarcasm doesn't come across on text.
Oh no, it takes a lot to offend me. I'm like,
I don't know. You look pretty offended right now.
No, it's time to end it. Ass cheese. Totally offensive.
I don't think that. Well, no, you did get a little bit. You're like, oh no, she's turning into Luke. And I'm sure when Luke hears this, he's going to be very upset with you. That was offensive, John.
He's always upset with me.
Maybe it's a good thing if I become like Luke. Okay, maybe everybody should become like Luke. I'm taking Luke's side on this.
Well, we'll make a Gatorade commercial. I want to be like Luke. Be like Luke. Be like Luke. I want to be like Luke.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. You're just a mean man, John. John, I'm offended now. You're just being mean and inconsiderate and just insensitive to our feelings.
And new from Nabisco, ass cheese.
Can you send me a pizza, please? Anyone?
Pizza.
I was joking. Sometimes I take. Okay, I think you said I take jokes too far.
Yeah, I do too. I got cussed out the other night because of it. We did a spirit box session in Luke's store, and I kept antagonizing because I had this little app on my phone, and I don't think it's like a legit like talking to ghost thing, but Luke got like super aggro over it because he thought his place was haunted, so he was super mad. And
is that what you sent me? Was that all a joke? Because I couldn't understand what you had sent me.
Yeah, well, some people do use that app for paranormal investigation. Well, Luke is always like, hey, let's do a spirit box. And I already know when we do it, he's going to get mad because every time that thing says something, he instantly, just like that, is pissed off. And
what was the app? I want to look it up.
Ghost Box, I think it's called. Hold on, let me look. Ghost Tube.
Lost a mic ago. I'm like, why? Because you said that that Satan was speaking to you or something.
Yeah, it's called Ghost Tube.
Ghost Tube?
Yeah. I mean, the guys at Iron City Paranormal said that, it can be used for paranormal investigations, but they don't think it's like 100% accurate. But, yeah, Luke got like Superman basically cussed me out because I was just talking shit and trying to get it to respond more. And he goes, "We
What's
always got we always got to be poking fun, man. You treating this shit like a game. This ain't no fucking game. I think it's Satan."
what's the difference here? There's like a million different types.
This one is just a little black square with a Pac-Man ghost in it, with just like little sound lines coming off of it, or I don't know.
Could
This
you
one,
see?
if you could see it on my phone.
I can't really see. Oh, it has a little ghost. Okay, I see. There's like so many of them on here. They're all called Ghost Tube. Ash Cheeseroni. I like that. That's a good one.
New from Kraft.
From Craft. So I gotta do this because I want to see what it says. I gotta be all weird and I'm gonna see what's in my house. Maybe. Looks like I got this all messed up. Yeah, so I get this new phone and everything, and I'm just gonna have to switch cell phone companies. Everything's all crazy. All crazy. Nothing's been working right at all this week. Oh, look. He's trying to go down. What are you doing, John?
Huh?
You like
I was texting
completely.
somebody. I was texting somebody back that said happy birthday to me.
You're on a live stream, John. I'm sitting here trying to find ghost talking stuff. What about that ghost talker thing?
I think I had. Wait, let's see. I got another one on
It says
here.
Ghost Talker Light.
Um,
It has a Pac-Man ghost inside of like
I have one called Necro something. It looks like a
what about
pentagram.
these
Not the.
spirit box ones? What is that?
It's a pentagram, not the upside down pentagram, but uh, with it with what looks like a gear around it. Now that one is a legit spirit box that a lot of ghost hunters use on their phones.
What is that called?
Hold on, and I'll. Da, 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 da. Necrophonic. This, if you
Necro.
can see it.
Okay. Necrophonic.
Now that one does cost money, and I bought that one.
$10. Are you sure? It only has like 3.2 stars. Why?
Some people swear by it, and those guys at Iron City said it's kind of legit.
Kind of legit. Why is it only
Yeah, I mean,
kinda?
nothing is because nothing in paranormal research is concrete. If it was, then everybody would be a believer, right?
No, not really, because even if you could prove it, you're going to still have the people that are saying that it's all messed up and fake. That's not real.
True.
And that you're a sinner for even suggesting that the findings are real.
You're going to hell.
You're playing with Satan. That's the devil's work. And God's going to punish you.
I argued with a Christian one time. I said,
How do you make a paranormal app? How do you make one?
I don't know. We can ask
Like,
Iron City Paranormal when they're on next month on the 5th.
yeah, because honestly, it's like, how is the phone able to detect it? Like, what do they put in it? It's just
According to
coding.
Derek, according to Derek and Dave, it's almost like a dog whistle. Like we can't hear it, but certain electronic devices can pick it up. Because a ghost is essentially just energy. Because
So are you
we
calling my
are
ghost in my house a dog?
no.
They're hearing me right now.
Well, good.
They're saying they're gonna be like, you're using a dog whistle on me. Now they're gonna come through the electronics to the computer and haunt you.
Yeah, like got somebody's grandma ghost in my house already, so I don't care.
Somebody's grandma ghost.
I turned it on one night, and all of a sudden I started talking. Then, and next thing I know, I'm like, I think I'm talking to somebody's grandma. Unless this thing is just a full of shit.
Might be.
Yeah, well, still, I had fun with it.
Imagine you get the ghost on there, like you hear a ghost, and it's like, do ghosts still use the bathroom and everything?
Yeah, it's called
Because a lot of them
ectoplasm.
follow their daily routine, so it's like, do they still go poop at the same time that they want to poop at?
It's called ectoplasm. They're just like,
No, I mean, do they actually go into the bathroom, sit on the toilet, follow their daily routines?
well,
Do they take little pretend showers?
as long as they flush, I'm good.
Do they brush their ghost teeth?
Well, I can't taste it.
I'm not joking. I'm like, do they still do all that stuff? Because they supposedly, a lot of people say, they follow their daily routines after they're deceased because they don't know.
Yeah, until you're that
Ooh.
asshole that tells them they're dead. And they're like, what? What the fuck?
And then they become a poltergeist and terrorize your life forever because you brought them to the realization that they're dead. And they got angry. It might happen. That'd be a good movie.
Just
You have
gets
a
up.
ghost whisperer, go to the ghost and convince them that it's time to move on and stuff, and they didn't realize they were dead, and then all of a sudden it turns them into an angry poltergeist because they are dead, and they finally came to that realization, and they blame you for them coming to that realization, so they make your life a living hell. Somebody make it. Sounds like a good thing.
This is my house. And it's a very, very, very fine house.
Okay, I know it's your birthday, but I can't give you a birthday cake over this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. That's it.
Okay. Happy birthday, you old fart. Happy birthday to you.
I wasn't gonna go there, but okie dokie, John. Okie dokie. Alright, so today is just another day for me. Unless I say it's my birthday. A Cookie Monster poltergeist. No, no, Cookie Monster really has to be a slasher killer. I'm sorry. He has to walk around with a knife stabbing people. He really does.
A ghost
Because
slasher.
it's like he's still gonna eat his freaking cookies. No, not a ghost slasher. Cookie Monster has to be very much alive. The poltergeist ghost. No, seriously, it would have to be like a grandpa ghost. I think. It's like I'm picturing an actual old man with he's bald at the top with the gray hair on the sides and everything, and you see the wrinkles in his face and everything, but he just has this evil look to him already, and he's just walking around haunting this house, and the family calls this expert in, and then when she tries to help him move on, he
Yeah,
decides to follow her back to her house and then makes her life a living hell after that.
yeah. They move in. He's not expecting. He's like, huh? What is going on?
They're like,
What?
ever since we moved into this house, there's this spirit, and it's blah blah blah, doing all this weird stuff and blah blah blah. And then she's like, you died this time, and he's like, what? And
I
then he
know.
just gets so he after he comes to that realization, he'll probably get his little window to cross over, but he decides not to follow that light, and he's so angry that he just follows that woman, and spoiler, she dies at the end.
I keep getting this weird smell of Absorbing Jr. all through the house. I think he's here. Huh?
I'm sorry, a scary grandpa ghost, all gray looking, and I'd be scared to see an old ghost man walking around my house.
He's scratching his ass and farting with his
He
walker.
wouldn't scratch his ass and fart. When? Okay, I did ask a question about them. That do they still follow that routine? But you don't have to say my ghost is gonna scratch his ass and fart in a movie, John. We don't have to do that to him. The old man ghost wears the woman's clothes and stretches them out. John doesn't even have anything to say about that one. No.
Why is
He
the
can't do that either.
waistbands?
I'm sorry, he can't sit there and wear the woman's clothes. It doesn't
Why is
go with the story in my head.
Why is the waistband stretched out in my thongs? It used to go up the crack of my butt. Now it just hangs sadly.
No, if it's a poltergeist, it has to be like really evil things. Like she wakes up and there's like a million knives hanging over her, and all of a sudden he drops them, but she like jumps off the bed in time before they all stab the freaking bed. And then she's
Well,
like,
that's
"Oh my
dark.
god, this ghost is trying to kill me!" And
he's like, "Drat, foiled again."
just when she thinks that she's gonna get him like out of the house and all this other stuff, you see her being like thrown from a window and landing on like one of those wrought iron fences where they go up in her, and like they come out. One comes out here through her mouth, and that's the end. She just dies. And then it just leaves it then, but no, it won't be the end. Then you see another family buying the house at the end, so that way you have a part 2.
And then he's peeking out the window going,
No, he's not like that. He's not going to sound like an old man, John.
You said old man ghost.
Well, yeah, old man ghost, but it doesn't mean he's going to sound like an old man and do old
How's it
man
going to be like
things.
super
Because
jack
he's going to be a
grandpa?
big ball of angry energy.
I need my Metamucil. I haven't had a bowel movement in 3 days.
I'm not telling you my ideas ever again.
And that's why he's angry. Because he can't poo.
Yeah, you're only doing this because it wasn't your idea, John. Whatever. Only reason why you're saying all this nonsense.
Constipation. Created a killer. Oh, happy birthday, Great Pumpkin. Shakes his fist at the people standing on his yawn. Oh, yeah. Walks outside, starts punching them, but his fist just goes through them because he's a ghost.
Well, today, John, I hope an old man ghost comes and haunts you.
Well, as long as he brings a birthday present.
He's not going to bring you any birthday presents. None.
Ooh.
He's just going to annoy the crap out of you all day today.
That's not hard. I get that on a daily basis.
He'll keep emptying out the cat's water and food bowl so the cat keeps bugging you for food.
No, she'll just get mad and attack him because they can sense that shit.
They can't attack it, though. She'll just keep coming to you, be like, "Stop this ghost from doing this," and it's just never going to happen.
No, she's kind of a bitch. She
can't attack him. She'll just attack the only solid object near her, and that will be you.
Oh, because she loves me.
Not when she's out of food. No cat loves anybody when they're out of food.
Everybody always said, "Man, if you ever die in your house, that cat's going to eat you." I'm like, why?
All right, John, I got to get going.
Me too. I got to give him a popsicle.
I gotta go do things. Gotta go make magic happen.
Well, you got a date?
No, I don't have a date. What the?
Well, you said magic. I didn't know. Belated Valentine. Look, I made Mandy speechless. Yay.
No, it's because you sat there and you just told everybody, like anybody in the whole world can see this, and you just told them that, like, I wasn't loved on Valentine's Day.
I wasn't either.
John.
I wasn't either. We loved each other.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter if you weren't loved on Valentine's Day.
I gave you a Valentine, so you were loved.
What do you mean you gave me a Valentine?
I gave you that one where that UFO was sucking up that person that says, I choose you.
Thank you, Morgan. Morgan had fun.
That's all that matters to me. Y'all have fun. Morgan, none of your peeps has contacted me yet, but I'm still crossing my fingers. He's got a puppeteer named Al Burke that I really want to talk to because I love puppets.
I want a puppet.
And maybe you could pitch to him your Cookie Monster thing.
I was about to say, I think he would really like that idea. Somebody that appreciates my vision. Other people do too. So I don't want to hear this crap.
Well,
at all.
Okay, cool.
John's another year older. It means he's really, really old. Now he's got to go buy a red Corvette to make himself feel young again. Yeah, young again.
Doesn't work anymore.
He's going to sit and try to act like he's 17. He's going to try to dress like a 2, but when he goes out in public, everybody's going to laugh at him. And he's going to be like, this isn't fair.
And then it goes, that's the happy birthday song to John.
That was the best happy birthday song to John ever. Happy birthday, John.
Thank you, Mandy.
This is going to be available on Spotify. Just listen to the podcast.
For 99 cents.
Stay tuned for tomorrow. I'll come up with more songs.
Oh, he does Punchy the Clown. Well, I'll still like talk to him. Oh, I read that wrong. I apologize. I thought he was a puppeteer.
He's not a puppeteer by trade. Oh, John, look how sad he looks. Oh my God, he just broke his heart because he read it wrong.
I still want to touch him because he still plays probably a creepy clown, so I wouldn't mind that.
But look at you, like, it's not a puppet guy. Oh.
I wanted to meet Kermit.
On that note, happy birthday, John. It's been great. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Till next time.
Well, guys, I got to get out of here. I got to call my pop so he'll quit blowing up my phone. But this has been John. That's been the beautiful Mandy Cantone, and we will see you again next time on Behind the Fur.